Smoke weed every day.
Hello, everyone. We've got an NBA playoff matchup brought to you by ESPN on EA Sports. I'm your host, Jalen Rose. The Detroit Pistons will tie up this series with a win against the Miami Heat. Today's call is provided by none other than Mike Breen and Jeff Van Gundy.
Welcome to the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida. It's Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Miami Heat and the Detroit Pistons. Thanks for joining us tonight with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. And here are today's starting lineups.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here with another NBA Live My Career game plan. Today we're taking on the Detroit Pistons. This is game 2. We are in our newly updated Latina Noche uniforms, and the Pistons will just be wearing their default away uniforms. So let's just get this game started. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to come to the conclusion, because I'm gonna have to eat my words here, and I think I was wrong about the Miami Heat. I really thought the Miami Heat would still be strong even after losing LeBron, but it's clear that something's missing. I don't know if it's LeBron. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if it's just the fact that this team has been unhealthy. I really think that Hassan Whiteside has really been a bright side for the Miami Heat this whole year, but other than that, man, it's literally been people going in and out the lineups, injuries. You know, they keep bringing guys up from the D-League. What has happened to the Heat in 1 year? In 1 year, the Heat have turned around and just, wow. It is so shocking to see this team struggling. You know, I really still had high hopes for this team even after LeBron. I thought this team was going to still be a juggernaut at the end of the day, but I was wrong. And it looks like the Cavaliers are starting to find themselves. Everybody's starting to come into roll now. I might be eating my words here, man, but I still think the Cavaliers are first round, second round knockout. I'm sticking by that one. I don't care what nobody says. I don't see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a Cleveland fan or a LeBron fan. I don't care. I don't see the Cavaliers going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. But I will say one team that has a chance of making the playoffs and making some noise, and that is the team that I'm facing right now, and that's the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, they're only about 3 to 4 games back from, they're like 3 to 4 games back from the 8th seed at this point. They can really make some noise. It's the Eastern Conference. Anybody can come up off of being down 3-4 games. You know, anybody in the East can really make the playoffs at this point. Well, unless you're the Knicks or the Magic, you're pretty much screwed at that point. But any other team can make the playoffs besides those two teams. Besides the Knicks, the 76ers, and the Magic, every other team can basically make the playoffs at this point. Remember, it's the Eastern Conference. It's not that hard to get in. You know, all you gotta have is about 38, 37 wins and you're in. Man. So I can still see them in there, even though they won't have Brandon Jennings. Because Drummond just throws it down. He does not care for human, with no regard for human life. Drummond just throws it down. Okay, Drummond, I got you. Don't be. Oh, that's cash right there. Oh yeah. But anyway, so I still see them making it into the playoffs. Like, and they could make some noise in the playoffs too. You know, DJ Augustine has proven that he's a really good backup point guard whenever your star point guard goes out with injury. Like, because when Brandon Jennings got injured, I thought, you know, now this team is going to go back to where they were before. But no, DJ Augustine has definitely stepped up. He's kind of like Darren Collison. You know, he's that good backup point guard. You know, he always comes in handy. And it's good to have him. They just got to hope DJ Augustine don't get injured. Guys like Jody Meeks, they keep playing to their standards. You know, the only thing you really got to hope for is that Greg Monroe comes back next year and Andre Drummond really picks up on his free throw shooting, because Andre Drummond can become a 65, 66% free throw shooter. It's gonna really hurt y'all, because you know, it's having Andre Drummond on your team is kind of like having Dwight on your team. It's like he's probably the best big man you're ever gonna have, but when it comes to the free throws, he's always gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much, man. But I still think the Pistons, they can make the playoffs. The Pistons can definitely make the playoffs. They're only 3 to 4 games back from the 8th seed, which is held by the Miami Heat right now. So they can definitely creep up on the Heat and on the Nets, and I forgot who else is in the conversation right now. I think it's the Nets, and I'm trying to think, it's the Nets and another team. I think Boston is like creeping up to that AFC spot as well. I think it's Boston and I think it's Boston and the Brooklyn Nets, who the Detroit Pistons are a couple of games back from. They can still make the playoffs. It's just, you know, they just gotta stay consistent, man. Like I said in the beginning of the season, man, Stan Van Gundy is a really good coach, and I really think he's gonna help that team tremendously. Obviously, Josh Smith leaving did something to this team, and they just never look back. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Pistons have never looked back since they were at the bottom of the barrel, and somehow, some way, they are now 3 to 4 games back from the 8th seed. That is crazy, and we only at the halfway mark. There's no telling. The ceiling is the possibilities are endless. Their ceiling is still wide open. They can really boost up the rankings here if they're trying to get that spot. So I honestly have no problem. So I honestly think that I think the Pistons can do it. The Heat have been an utter disappointment to me. I really thought they were going to come through. I didn't think this team was going to fall so hard without LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't. I thought this team was going to be at least better than LeBron and the Cavaliers in the regular season, because I thought with Kyrie and Kevin Love never being in the playoffs, never leading their team to the playoffs, I really thought that was going to work. But, you know, Miami is literally making me eat my own words here. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. How you gonna make me eat my own words? But like I said, man, they have injuries. People are running in and out the lineups. The rotations are getting switched all the time. they bringing up players from the D League every now and then. You know what I'm saying? That's how Hassan Whiteside got in there. So that explains a lot. So yeah, that's just how I feel about the Heat and the Pistons. About the Heat, about the Heat right now. So the Heat are looking like they're not even be in the playoffs this year. The Pistons looking like they can make some noise and bump up the ladder a little bit. I think they can finish 8 or 7 at best. But then you got the top of the conference. You got Washington. You got Atlanta, Toronto, Chicago. I still think the Bulls are going to finish with the best seed. I think the Bulls are going to finish with the number 1 seed, and the Hawks are going to finish number 2. I think the Wizards and the Raptors are going to battle it out for the 3rd. And I think Cleveland going to be stuck at that 4th seed. I think Cleveland going to be stuck at that 5th seed. I don't see the Cleveland Cavaliers going any higher than the 4th or 5th seed. I can't see them going any higher. That team's just not. That team's just not. I'm still sitting here saying that team's just not really built this year. I still feel like this is more of a filler out year for them. They're not. It's not going to be like how the Heat was in. It's not going to be like how the Heat was in 2011. Second half of the season, they turn things around. They end up at the 2nd seed in the East. They go all the way to the NBA Finals. No, I feel like this is different. This isn't like, because you don't have that. And you don't have. Kyrie is not Dwayne Wade. Let's just state that for the record. Kyrie is no Dwayne Wade under any shape or form. He is no Dwayne Wade. Kevin Love is no Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh is a defender. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chris Bosh is a defender. Like, Kevin Love can have the hustle. He can box guys out. He can shoot from the 3-point line. Chris Bosh can do the same things, just not as efficient as Kevin Love can. But if there's one thing that Chris Bosh can do more efficiently than Kevin Love, it's defense. And that's the biggest thing. Kevin Love has to learn how to play defense. The Cavaliers cannot be a championship team and not have any defense. With Kevin Love has to play defense, or this team will suffer from it. And like I said, they also, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving still do not have playoff experience. So therefore, I just don't see that team going far. I see that 1st round, 2nd round exit. I just don't see the Cavaliers going far this year. I feel like this is more of a filler out year for them than it is I feel like this is more of a filler out year than it is a championship or bust year. I feel like, this is more of a filler out year. Let's see how everything works. Kevin Love is he's on and off now. He's very bipolar. So like one night he'll have 21, 22, 23 points a game, and then the next night he's nowhere to be found. He got like 5 or 7 points, probably have a game with no points. Like he's in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it has something to do with, I don't know if it's something about Kevin Love and him not feeling comfortable in his role, or him trying to find that role and trying to find a niche with that role. I think it's different. I don't think Kevin's like Chris. I don't think he knows about sacrifice and all that other jazz that the Heat was always talking about when they were together. It was always about sacrifice and stuff like that. So I think Kevin Love has to find out that he has to sacrifice a lot of his talents. And I think he's trying to sacrifice his talents, for the better of the team. I think he's just trying to find his role. I think he's getting the sacrifice part now. He's just trying to find his role now. I think that's his only problem. But yeah, that's pretty much the game. We pretty much destroyed the Detroit Pistons in this game, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, peace out.
And I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Heat dominated this game from beginning to end. They did it with blocks, and they did it with steals. More to the point, they did it with excellent defense. They committed to the grind and got rewarded as a result. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Miami Heat. The Pistons suffered from a lacking offense in this contest. I hate to say it, but I just don't have enough time in this segment to explain everything they could have done better.
Game track. Steals.
As you can see in the highlights, this team did a great job of staying competitive and putting in the necessary effort to get the win.
Player of the game.
Here's a look at the numbers. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 3. Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose, and it's been our pleasure to present you with some NBA basketball.